All right. Well, what a victory by your Seattle Seahawks here today. This was a game they came out with the offense humming right from the jump. The defense kind of went back and forth as far as being really good, and then giving Chargers a little bit of a wiggle room, letting them push through a little bit, then getting back on top of it. This was a game a little bit about momentum early on. Seattle able to establish the momentum out the gate. The Chargers able to come back and counterpunch. The Seahawks able to retake over that momentum, not have it just kind of slip and fall away from them this game as they had gotten up by over 10 points early on, up 17-0 or something early on in this game. So you're able to get back very, very quickly. This was not a game necessarily about Geno Smith being as explosive as he's been at the quarterback position recently, but he was good today. There were some turnover-worthy throws. There were some ones you're going, ooh, that was a little close there, Geno. That could have changed your game around completely, and I would probably argue this was probably overall the worst played game by Geno Smith, but he wasn't awful. He wasn't putrid. He kept the chains moving. He showed you all of those plus attributes that he's brought to the table throughout the course of this year so far. Control at the line of scrimmage, changing to the right play, hitting his plays on time when he needs to hit them, getting that back foot and letting it rip, understanding the type of throw that's called for to the need to be made. There were some times on third downs where he was having to really lace that ball in there into a tight window, and then you'd see throws that were a little deeper down the field where he'd show an ability to now kind of layer those throws. He also had a couple moments in this game. There was a Noah Fant catch that could have kind of changed some of the statistics on him in this game, which would have gotten him probably a touchdown if he makes that catch. DK Metcalf has a catch down right at the end zone early on in this game where if he's able to bring it in and he's got both hands on it, it's a beautiful throw by Geno. Again, that could change Geno game around in this as well. So yes, there are those turnover-worthy plays, those interception-worthy plays that Geno had in this game, but then on the other side of it, there were other plays that could have changed it to the other realm of it. So if you're going to count on one way, we've got to count it on the other way in that respect. At the end of the day, he's playing this quarterback position awesomely from my standpoint of it. This goes beyond stats in this particular game for me with Geno. I just loved his throws. I love his decision-making. I love how calm and composed he is in the pocket. He just does not ever panic. We had another one of those moments in this game today where he's about to scramble past the line of scrimmage. We've seen him do this a couple of times. He gets those defenders to bite up who are just past the line of scrimmage to come up and try to tackle him and keep him stopped before he can get to the first down marker. And then he just goes, just a little flick, throws the ball away to a wide open receiver out there in the flat and gets the first down. He is just playing so wonderfully the position in the respect of what we had as far as an expectation level of this guy versus what he actually truly does look like. He looks like right now a top 10 quarterback in this league with his control there, with the throws that he can make, with everything that he's doing and all of the little details of quarterbacking the position. He is a guy who really continues to take full advantage of that second chance. And even though, again, statistically, he's only 210 yards in this game, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception, you put up 37 points in this game, partly because on the back of how great he played the position today. We also have to talk about Kenneth Walker offensively today. There's no doubt about that. 23 carries, 168 yards in this game, 2 touchdowns. He had the back-breaking run at the end of the game that really sealed this thing and put Seattle up by 3 touchdowns, but he ran hard and well all the way throughout. What really this game was about for me with Kenneth Walker was not the big run that he busts for 50, 60, 70 yards, whatever that run was. It was the little runs. It was the run where there's penetration in the backfield and he slides off of a tackler to find a way to fall forward and twist and make another little move and get himself up to speed and get you 3 yards on the play. He took a lot of plays today that would have been 2nd and 12, 2nd and 13, and he got you into 2nd and 8s, 2nd and 7s. It's those runs today that stand out to me. It's a little bit of the old Barry Sanders thing that they would say about Barry, where his greatest runs were sometimes negative 1 yard runs or 1 yard runs where he's broken 8 tackles just to get you back that state so that you can keep yourself ahead of the chains, because that's what this offense is built upon, is not having those negative plays, keeping everything positive. Sometimes it'll only be a 3-yard gain on a tight end swing route or just a couple yard run here, but you're getting yourself into 3rd and 5s, 3rd and 6s, 3rd and 4s, makeable 3rd downs that you can then convert. That is what really the basis is of this West Coast offense, is keeping those chains moving. And it's why the offense has had so much success in scoring this year and has stayed so consistent, is it's fitting to the designs of what it's supposed to do. This, of course, runs in wide deference to how we've seen this offense run in recent history, where it's been all or nothing, right? It's been, we're into a lot of 3rd and 9s, 3rd and 11s. We're really far behind the sticks, really hard to convert those 3rd 9s and 3rd and 11s. The same issues you're seeing with Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos right now this year, and they're falling in the same places. I've heard Russell literally talk about, we got to be better on first and second down. Well, that's the things you used to say about when you were here as well. We're being good on first and second down. We're getting positive plays. But Walker was absolutely fantastic in his ability to run the rock today. He showed you why, indeed, there are difference makers at the running back position. You're not going to hear any Seahawks fans squawking about that second-round pick now, I don't think. And maybe those folks that were so ardently on board with the fact that you cannot take a running back in the second round, that's just bad value, can start to understand why, no, it's good value. It's a smart decision to make when you consider that no teams are taking running backs in the first round. So you're getting potentially the best or the second best running back in the draft when you're then picking in that second round to take a running back. That becomes good value at that point. I don't know how people got it in their mind that you don't take a running back in the second round. It's kind of a ridiculous thought. I don't know where it's come from exactly. I can get the no first round, but the second round? No. You can find difference makers there. And Kenneth Walker, make no mistake about it, is a difference maker for the position. Offensive line-wise, you blocked it up pretty well today. Geno wasn't under a tremendous amount of duress. You were able to keep Khalil Mack, the true wrecker there on that defensive line, under wraps, and he's had a very good start to his season here with the Chargers, but he was not able to do much as far as create any kind of pressure on Geno Smith today. So you got to tip your hat here to this offensive line, keeping things clean in pass protection, and then also opening up a good amount of holes there for Kenneth Walker. Love to see it. The offensive line continues to play very consistent, and those rookies are holding up over there on the side. Marquise Goodwin had his best game for you as a Seattle Seahawk. He had some very, what I would call difference-making catches out on the football field. And really the two that, of course, stand out are going to be the two go routes. First go route, he's dealing with off coverage with Asante Samuel Jr., and he just puts the gear down right from the jump. He is running hard right from the beginning of that snap, and I'm going to press the edge of that end zone on the go route. I'm going to still run by you even though you're in off coverage, even though you're aligned to be able to take that deep ball away from me. I'm going to be so fast and so quick in getting past you that I'm going to get there. And then Geno with the beautiful throw, perfectly timed to where he put that ball, perfectly placed. Godwin goes and makes that first touchdown catch and then comes back later in the game with an even more impressive touchdown catch. This one, he's got the cornerback right on him in a press look at the line of scrimmage, runs right past him at the line, gets up the field. This is on J.C. Jackson, who just last year was looked at as maybe the best corner in all of football. He blasts right past him, and then Geno throws the ball up in the air. He gets up high and jumps far and high points the ball going up over the top. Not only did he have the separation, but he went up and high pointed the ball on top of it for another touchdown in that game. Huge moment there where you're down DK Metcalf. You need a wide receiver to step up and take over a little bit more of the role there. Goodwin did it in a big way. Many people have been wondering about why Marquise at times is being put on the field ahead of a D. Eskridge. I think you can see it on those particular two routes as to why he's being valued a little higher by the Seahawks for what he can do on the outside there from the receiver's position. Defensively today, I think you've got to still, again, tip your hat to the defense here. Chargers ended up with 329 total yards. What I said that the keys on this defense and what they needed to do today to get the win at the start of this is I said you need to turn this Charger offense into a one-dimensional attack. Stop the running game first and foremost. That's where it begins. Well, you did that today. Austin Eckler had 9 carries for 31 yards, 3.4 yard per carry average. That's phenomenal. Chargers had 15 carries for 53 yards in total today. That is phenomenal. So you first did that. You turned them into a one-dimensional passing attack. Then the next key for me in this game was slow down the short passing game of the Chargers. That's where they're going to want to beat you. For whatever weird reason with Herbert, despite having such a big arm, everything is really dink and dunk and short with him. Everything is a little bit behind the line of scrimmage with them. They were a little bit famous for this last year, and people were really wondering why that was the case with this team being unwilling to really push the ball up the football field. Geno ends up this game with 7.8 yard per average on attempts, whereas Herbert ends up with a 5.7 yard. And he continued to try to dink and dunk this game. And while Austin Eckler did end up with 12 carries and 96 yards, I think the Seahawks defense did a good job, like last week with the Cardinals, who were trying to attack in a similar way, of pressing those short routes, tightening up those zones. That's been a place that you've seen with the Seahawks in recent history, in recent years, where they will fall back into those soft zones and they will just let teams eat them up all game long underneath. In this game, they tightened things up a little bit more. We saw a little bit more blitzing. I'd still like to see even a little bit more than they did today, but the blitzes were effective. They were able to get pressure in on the quarterback. That was good to see. You got a relatively good amount of pressure from the front four as well at times when you need to draw on them. We had 3 sacks in this game, 8 quarterback hits. Everybody kind of was taking a little bit of their turn to go back there and generate some pressures. You had 3 knockdowns at the line of scrimmage. on Justin Herbert. Shelby Harris had 2 of those knockdowns. So everybody on the defensive line kind of did their part in holding up today. Everybody sort of took their turn to come in there and make a play or to create a pressure. It was really good to see, but it was really fitting to the designs of what it was going to take to beat the Chargers. Get them one to net, get them one-dimensional, take away those short routes. Don't let them just dink and dunk you all day, and force Herbert to beat you throwing the ball down the field. I know that seems counterintuitive with that big arm that he has, but indeed that's what the Seahawks did today, and they were able to keep it clean. You've got to give a tip of the cap to those guys on the outside today. I thought Tariq Woolen and Michael Jackson Jr. played a real good games overall. Tariq got picked on a little bit with Mike Williams early on in that first half, gave up his first touchdown of his young career here. But overall, he bounced back and he played very solidly throughout the course of this game. I think he'll still be rated pretty well by PFF when it's all said and done for how he played in this game. And Michael Jackson on the other side, he almost had his first interception here, a ball that went right into his hands, but he played really good football in this game as well. Those young guys really do continue to show up and shine. You look at the rookies in this game, from Kenneth Walker with his 168 yards to your 2 tackles playing a very clean game on the outside, both in pass protection and in the running game. You go defensively and you go, okay, Boye Mafe I thought was pretty solid today. Again, didn't do anything necessarily outstanding, but he was there and showing up, especially again, continues to show up in the run game. Kobe Bryant almost had his first interception of this game. It was one that was called off because of an offsides by Uchenna Nwosu. And as I said, again, Tariq Woolen played a really good game. So the youngsters continue to shine as they do. It seems like every week you can pick out 4 or 5 guys out of this draft and go, boy, they held it down today. They helped us win today. That wasn't a guy learning the ropes or finding his way or just figuring out how to play in the NFL. That's a guy having an impact for a team right now that's now in first place, helping them win right now, not into the future. It's brought up into my chat. It's a question in my chat. Is this what a rebuild looks like? Well, if this is what a rebuild looks like, sign me up. Sign me up. A wonderful victory by your Seattle Seahawks. It wasn't a perfect win, but you won this game. You won this game running away with it on the road in LA. That's impressive against a team in the Chargers who's probably going to end up in the playoffs this particular year. So fantastic win. And hey, we are in this now. We are a 4-3 team. We are in this right now. You're at the top of the division. Let's not think about next year or into the future. And I'm not saying let's mortgage future assets for the now, but I'm saying let's try to win right now. Let's not look towards next year. Let's go right now. Who's to say we can't? The NFC is wide open. It's muddled. A lot of teams with just as many wins as they have losses, or a little more losses they have wins, or a little more wins they have losses, but nobody outside of the Eagles is really running away with anything in this NFC right now. It is open for your Seahawks to take a step forward and to be competitive right now. Say, hey, let's take our chances. Nobody's counting on us to do this. Nobody thought we were going to be here. This is house money, baby. So let's throw that house money to the center of the table. Let's go get a player or 2 here at the trade deadline. No big deals, no big swings. Get a couple players here, maybe one or at least one player. Help this team out, reinforce the ranks a little bit, and let's just see what happens. Let's see how it plays out. Either way, awesome job by Coach Carroll and John Schneider this offseason of reconstructing this team, and to take a team that's in the rebuild year, a team that's $40+ million of dead money on their books right now, and finding a way to put themselves at the top of the division 7 games into the season. That is magnificent by both your front office and coaching staff, and we've got to laud them. We've got to praise them because this is damn hard to do.